No, I would kind of liken this acquisition to when we got Carter, Gary Carter would, but it was the final piece for us. I think it's an incredible addition to the ball club. As far as Soto, he's played in New York. His track record's there. Everywhere he's gone, he's performed. All the cities that he's played in, he's had.
Especially in postseason too. That's a big thing too, right?
Yes, he's got postseason experience. He's got a world championship. He's 26 years old. Um, and he doesn't seem to be satisfied. I think he's got a burning desire to win. At least what I've seen so far, he comes out and plays hard every day and wants to win. His numbers are there. I mean, he's just one of the best hitters in the game. I think the guy with really the his generation of knowledge of the strike zone can liken to Ted Williams.
Jay Horwitz, a special edition, amazing conversation with my longtime friend Keith Hernandez. Keith, what was the first thing when you saw Juan Soto, 15 years, $765 million, could go over $800 million? What was your reaction?
Well, it's not the first one, so it wasn't as shocking. Otani got the big deal, so we're kind of been indoctrinated on all this. The money is crazy right now. I mean, you look at the Yankees just signed Max Fried for 200 mil for a 3-year deal, I believe, and so the I've always wondered. I wish that Marvin Miller was still alive because I would. The first question I'd ask Marvin, who really got all this ball rolling with the free agency, and I would ask Marvin, did you ever envision what you started that it would come to this kind of money in the game? I would love to hear his answer.
Keith, I know the situation is not the same, but in '83, you come over, MVP, batting champion, World Series champion. Team wasn't very good in '80. It was 68 and '94. Juan comes to the Mets, 90 plus wins. A game or two from the World Series. What kind of pressure, especially in this market, is he going to be under? Do you think? I mean, you came to a bad team. He's coming to a pretty good team. And any difference? I mean, yours was a trade. His is a free agent sign. Any difference at all, or similarities? What to expect?
No, I would kind of liken this acquisition to when we got Carter, Gary Carter would, but it was the final piece for us. I think the Mets still need pitching. I don't think it's the final piece. I think it's an incredible addition to the ball club. As far as Soto, he's played in New York. His track record's there. Everywhere he's gone, he's performed. All the cities that he's played in, he's had.
Especially in postseason too. That's a big thing too, right?
Yes, he's got postseason experience. He's got a world championship. He's 26 years old. Um, and he doesn't seem to be satisfied. I think he's got a burning desire to win. At least what I've seen so far, he comes out and plays hard every day and wants to win. His numbers are there. I mean, he's just one of the best hitters in the game. I think the guy with really the his generation of knowledge of the strike zone can liken to Ted Williams. He's
Really,
got,
that's a
he's
pretty
got
good
such a
compliment.
terrific knowledge of the strike zone, and that's a big plus for him. It's one of the main reasons for his success offensively. Now, will he hit 40 home runs at Citi Field? That remains to be seen. He had the short right field porch at Yankee Stadium, but he's played in San Diego, Washington, and he's hit everywhere and hit with power and productive RBI guys. So it's a big. I don't think he's going to have any issue whatsoever moving over from the Bronx to Queens.
I mean, they say his swing is adaptable in any ballpark. Is that true? I mean, when he hits all different parts of the field.
I haven't seen him enough, Jay. I'm looking forward to watching him on an everyday basis because that's how you can really fully make an evaluation of a player or what kind of hitter he is, what kind of all around player he is, as opposed to seeing him what last year only saw him play 4 games. So and over the years, 4 6 games a year. He has a great knowledge of the strike zone. He's very quick inside, and that's a big plus. And you got to be careful when you try to come in on him. But then again, you can't lay it out over the outside part of the plate. You got to, make him respect the inside corner. But what I see is tremendous quickness inside. And really, I kind of liken him to Barry Bonds. A lot of the uppercut hitters today. He does take an uppercut, but he does keep his shoulders level. He doesn't tilt his shoulders. He keeps on the high pitch. He keeps his shoulders level so the bat stays level on the same plane, which makes him a really good high ball hitter. And he alters his swing to lift, and he can pull and he can hit it out of all fields. But basically, he's a line drive hitter. And like I said, I mean, you look at his numbers. He's got a body of work that you got. He's not a flash in the pan. He's a solid major leaguer, a superstar, really.
It's crazy. He was in the major leagues at 19. It seems like he's been around for ages. I mean, but he's he played for so long. He's go back to you for a second. When you came over in '83 and '84, did it take you a long time to get adapted to the locker room? Do you think I guess when it's saying everybody knows everybody, do you think it's taken him a while to get adapted? I mean, you were the veteran guy. Now we have Lindor, guys are there before him. So, I mean, how do you think it's going to be from getting adopted to being a Met?
Well, I think this Met team's very close. They're a close knit unit. They pull for each other. I think he's going to come in and blend right in. They're going to welcome him with open arms, much like we welcomed Gary Carter with open arms. We were so thrilled to have Gary. It's going to be the same situation here, and he'll blend right in. It'll be seamless transition, and uh, like I said, just an extraordinary addition to this ball club.
Keith, as we stated, no one's going. No, we don't know what's going to happen with Pete, but the lineup you have Lindor, Vientos, Alvarez, Nimmo, McNeil, Marte Mays is a pit DH or something. I mean, it's a pretty good lineup right now. And
I think Lindor is finally, I think, going to come in to be the best player he's ever been in his career, and he is one of the best players in the game. And I think now he's fully in the leadoff spot, so comfortable there. We saw what he did when he was moved to the leadoff spot. I just think that, like with me, the Mets got. I had good years very good years in St. Louis, but as a veteran, when I came over to the Met fans got the very best of my career, of me, because I had matured and grown in and became a veteran. I think that Lindor now is going to have that same transition, and I think he's just going to be better. I don't think you're not going to see that 2 month slump that he had
right, right.
last year. If he didn't have that 2 month, if he just hit 250, he would have hit over 300. I mean, it was the worst slump of his career. I don't expect that. The lineup is solid. It's good left right balance, and it's also versatile. You saw McNeil playing corner outfield positions. You saw Iglesias late in the game moving over to third base for defense. Vientos coming out. McNeil going to second base. Uh, I think Marte is a sleeper. I really do. He had the double groin surgery. You have to be a little bit iffy about, okay, what am I? He stole some bases last year. So I really look for him to have a really good bounce back year too. And that just adds to this versatility of this club. And, Mendy's going to have, he juggled the roster, the everyday roster in and out. Everybody playing, everybody feels like they belong. The one guy I want to look at is Alvarez. I want to see Alvarez step up and stop trying to swing for home runs
Yeah.
and get back to where he was in his rookie year. We'll see. That's a big question mark right there.
He's the former MVP. Otani won for sure, but he's going to pitch again this year. But how does a guy like Lindor, who plays every day, gets key hit after key hit? I mean, it seems kind of unfair. He missed the All-Star game last year. Came in second in the MVP. How does a guy like that ever win an MVP with Otani in the same league? It seems kind of unfair a little bit.
Well, It helps to have a team win a division and win a
Yeah.
match. Even though that voting is in before the season's out,
Right.
but you're on a team that wins it all, wins your division. That's helpful, and he has to have a year like Otani. I mean,
Yeah.
not so much the home runs. I don't expect 50 home runs from Lindor, but you certainly would take 30-30, which is what he did last year. He seems to do every year, and you just up the average, up the RBIs. I mean, and I'm not being critical yet. You take away the first 2 months. Yeah, he had a good year last year. Jay, I finished second in '84 in the MVP to Ryan Sandberg, and it had really no effect on me. I thought I should have been a closer race. Um, it's really kind of nice when you look at it as a player. Well, yeah, I finished second. Sure, certainly you want to be the MVP, but to finish second, that's quite. That's you've had a good year.
Yeah. You brought up Kid for Gary. It's 40 years ago this month that we acquired him. So in '84, your first year with 90, 98, and '85. And talk about what Gary meant. What do you remember? What you felt when you heard about the trade with Montreal? I mean, on
Well,
Monday Night Football. By the way,
you got a better memory than
yeah,
me.
Monday Night Football.
I hated to see Hubie Brooks go and
Yeah,
Fitzgerald, and they were. Hubie went on to have good years in Montreal, but you weren't going to get Gary Carter for nothing. I remember being when I got the news, I was ecstatic over it because we had that great pitching staff, young pitching staff, and Carter. I always felt got to know your catchers your opposing catchers, what how they call a game, and I was very savvy with that and very much aware, and that was told to me by Lou Brock. Here we go again with Lou, who was my
yeah.
mentor.
Look, guys, running across the screen.
Yeah, yeah, right. So um, I always felt, I didn't think in terms of, okay, this is the final cog, the final piece to get us into the World Series. It certainly, I felt like it was a great acquisition. But the most important thing for me was that we had a guy that called a great game, took control, and we had a young pitching staff that he can work with. And I just knew that was going to be a positive, and it certainly was. I mean, you talk to Ron, Darling, and Doc. Gary was a tremendous influence. He was a very powerful personality, and how he played the game. That's how his personality was. He was tenacious and spirited and competitive, and I think uh, he has a lot to do with the advancement and success of that that starting rotation.
Yeah, no question. Keith, you've been around New York a long time. In the past, the Mets, we bid on Vladimir Guerrero, lost, been on A-Rod, lost, been on Mike Messina, lost. Um, can't forget the other. What do you think it means to a Met fan to finally, whether it's the Yankees or whatever, to come away with the prize, and when people, maybe the little brother syndrome is gone for a little while, hopefully?
Uh, well, in the '80s, we kind of took control of the city over the Yankees, and the Yankees. And everybody thinks the Yankees didn't stink back then. They had Winfield and
Yeah.
Mattingly. They were good teams. Uh, I think that the worm may be turning. I mean, it's all about ownership. If we got an owner that's wants to win and has the financial wherewithal to do it, and not afraid to do it. The next big step, I mean, for Met fans, they've got to be euphoric that you got Soto. Now, whether I know how it is in New York, okay, yeah, we finally, the Steinbrenner loved taking Mets, and got David Cohn, got Strawberry, got
Strawberry.
Dwight Gooden.
Joe
Uh,
Torre.
so now, yes, it's a good call, and now we got one of theirs. Okay, fine. I could care less one way or the other whether we got him from Washington
Right.
or Dubuque, Iowa. The fact is that the Mets have him,
Exactly.
and that's the key point. So um, they're much improved. I feel they're on the verge of being they're going to be competitive every year, and Met fans have a lot to look forward to.
Keith, this has been a tough offseason for you personally. I know you had hip surgery. How you,
Hmm.
you feeling better now? I mean,
Yeah. I can walk now without pain, and I can keep up with Gary after games. I don't know if the fans know Gary Cohen is one of the fastest walkers. I mean, we go after every game. We leave when we go off the air. We go down the elevators. We go down to the base to the field level, and we walk to where the trucks are and are on the road, where our we have a car service to take us back to the hotel. And Gary's a speed walker, and I couldn't keep up with him last year, and I'm going to be able to keep up with him this year.
we should have a race between the two of you. And
Oh no, okay, no, not when I'm 71. I'll just be able to. I'll be happy to be able to keep up with him.
yeah, and personally, I know it's a tough year. You lost your beloved Hadji um, a while
Yeah,
back.
he with the first week of
22.
November, huh? 22 plus. October 10th was his 22nd. He made it, and then he just started falling apart, and he was falling apart anyway, and there was just one his renal system was failing, and there was a certain signals, and the vet said it's his time. So he went peacefully.
Yeah, I adopted a 16-year-old dog that would have put him down, and it's an awful thing for
Yep,
any animal to have to put your animal down. It's awful. You can't describe the feeling. It's just brutal.
I agree.
Yeah, So we'll see you in the spring then, Keith, and ready to go, and should be exciting. A lot to look forward to this year for the Mets, and get over the hump and win it all, and win our new players or players to be determined yet.
Well, it'll be. I better be there in spring. I got one more year in my contract, so I will definitely be there. I'm looking very much forward to the season, uh, more than last year, and I'm very optimistic. I'm looking very, 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 very much forward to it.
Well, Keith, as always, I appreciate your time, and keep getting better. I look forward to seeing you. We'll have lunch at at Chili's. I still have my table at Chili's.
Chili's.
Yes.
Oh goodness. Okay. I'll have the salad.
I go Southwestern egg rolls, Keith. That's my
Okay.
Keith, as always, I appreciate your time, and keep getting better, my friend, huh?
All right, Jay. Always.
Thanks,
How
Keith.
long have we known each
Thanks,
other? We've
Keith.
known each other forever. For crying out. How many years now? 84.
For you,
Uh,
me or you?
both of us now. How long have we known each other for? What?
17, 40, almost 42 years.
Yeah. How about
Um,
that?
okay, I
We
got to
were.
tell a quick story. My favorite story when you came over to us. Frank Cashin said, "Jay, I need your help. We traded for an all-star. He doesn't want to come here. Do what you can to make him comfortable." So we came up. I got a limo. I met you in
Yeah.
Montreal. Went to the airport. Went to the wrong gate. You took a cab. I took the limo.
I
It got
remember that.
better after that,
I
right,
was looking
Keith?
for you, and I couldn't find you, so I just got in the cab and went right
And
to
I
our thing.
came back to the hotel with a big stretch limo all by myself.
Jay, you're forgiven. It's okay. I can fend for myself, but our friendship is very strong, and
Yeah,
I
very,
was always
yeah.
Jay. Whenever you asked me, you'd come up with that
You always
sympathetic
been there
look
for
on your
me for
face.
4.
Keith, you got ABC out there. Could you go out and do a little pregame interview? I never turned you down.
Never not once, Keith. Never not once.
Hey, it's part of our job to
Yeah,
be
well, you did it well,
work with
Keith.
the press.
I appreciate it, kid. Listen, call me if you need anything from me, and I'll see you soon, huh?
Okay. All right,
Thanks,
Jay.
Keith. Appreciate you.
All right.
Thanks. Right,
Take
bye.
care.